And voila! Oh, those were the great days. They might actually end up damaging your own hair. To pick the roots just a little bit. I'm definitely sure there's a difference between here and here. This idea that our hair is unprofessional. You want activism? You have to start with being an activist in your own life. It's a cloudy, semi-windy evening. Children are back from their midterms and they're making a lot of noise. And for me, it's time to be making my hair. Just washed my hair. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's so interesting that as I have gotten longer hair, I actually find that it's easier for me to do my hair. I've just used one product, you know, a cleansing conditioner or a shampoo that also has conditioner, because I figured out that it works and it also saves me a lot of money. I don't need to be spending a lot of money on hair in this season of my life. To style it, I'm just thinking of drawing my classic twist out because it never fails me. It's easy. I like going for the tried and tested because it saves me a lot of mental space. I don't want to be thinking about, oh my god, what am I gonna do with my hair every single week. I always work in sections. I divide my hair into quarters, and the products I'll be using is just 2 products. I'm gonna be having this cream. I would have used this cream on its own, but it's just not as moisturizing, and it also leaves some flakes when it starts drying, so I'm adding this hair food. So this is the combo that I'll be using. The combo is fantastic. This on its own I don't like, this on its own I like, this together fantastic. I'm actually almost running out of this, but whatever I have is gonna be great. The kids, oh my god, the kids. Ugh, it's almost 6 p.m. What are they doing in the field? They should be in class. When I started to learn how to do my own hair, this is the first style that I ever learned. You know, doing the twists is like the easiest thing ever. And I've become such a pro that I twist so fast. This is just what I prefer, and especially now that my hair is just getting longer, and I just prefer the curls that I have when I twist my hair than the curls that come from a braid out. One of the things that really motivated me to do my own hair is just I hated going to the salons, because I always found that every time I went to the salon, my hair was just being destroyed. You know, in a country like Kenya, when you go to the hairdresser, most of the times they're not really professional hairdressers. It's people who just learned to do hair, and they really don't know, or they really do not care to learn about different hair textures, because we were just brought up in a society that told us that having our natural hair was the worst thing ever. And so a lot of the hairdressers also think like that, and so they don't even know how to care for natural hair. The only thing that they can do to help you is just to straighten your hair so that they can braid it. But most times when you go to the salon and you're like, oh, I just need to braid my hair without really straightening it, they don't know what to do with you, and they might actually end up damaging your own hair. And because I'd just gotten to a point where I just wanted to always have my natural hair, not feel the need to straighten it, I decided to learn how to do it myself, and so far so good. The sun is setting quite rapidly. Thankfully I'm almost done. This is going to be 10 years since I started taking my natural hair seriously. When I started the natural hair journey, inspired by the girlies on YouTube. Oh, those were the great days. I spent a lot of money on buying natural hair products. Right now my mentality when it comes to hair products has actually changed. I don't really believe in buying the natural hair products, because I realized that you could use the regular hair products that most of the times have been created for like straight hair. You know, like the shampoos from L'Oreal, Tresemme, Garnier. When you use their shampoos and conditioners, they just work fine. One of the reasons why I really found myself abandoning the natural hair products is because they just kept changing the product recipe, and I just didn't understand why this was so. That's also one of the reasons why I'm really disappointed in this product, because I remember the first time I bought it before I went to France. It was a fantastic product. I liked it. But when I came back to Kenya and then I bought it, I was so disappointed because they had changed the formulation. The downside to doing your own hair is just how your fingers become so sticky, especially when you're mixing products like a cream and a hair food like I'm doing. I don't want my hair to have whitish things on it. One thing that I really don't understand is when companies change their product recipes too regularly, because it just looks like they didn't do enough market research before launching the product. or they launched the product, then it became successful and they became greedy, and now they want to make the maximum amount of profits, but they do not want to use the good products. Most of the time it's the greed that is synonymous with a lot of Kenyan businesses. They get into the market, everyone loves them, and then after a few years they downgrade the product because they get too greedy. It happens in all facets of consumer facing industries, but I find it to be completely astonishing because when you do things like that, you are alienating your customer base. There's nothing as bad as liking something and then you realize that, oh, it was changed and the company didn't even communicate why they made the changes in the first place. Just bad business practices. And this is one of the reasons why I really do not like working in a lot of corporate companies, because especially in my work as a marketer, you're seeing people making the worst decisions, but because they're like the executives, they want to just do it anyway. And then you as the marketer, the one that has to clean up the mess that they create. Obviously consumers are not stupid, and when you produce something that is bad, you're going to get backlash, and then now it's my job to clean up that backlash when I told you in the first place that you shouldn't be doing things like that. And I'm done. It looks like it's going to rain. There's nothing as amazing as just completing this step. Then I just have to go to sleep. And then tomorrow I'm gonna have the most gorgeous curls. I did 4 twists in the front sections and then 3 twists in the back sections. So that's gonna be 7 twists here, 7 twists here, 14 twists in total. That is like easy. It's now the time of reckoning, the time to know whether our twists came out nicely. This is how I slept with just a bonnet. I remember I bought this bonnet while I was taking a walk in the 18th arrondissement in Paris, and I stumbled upon this shop that was being manned by an African man. I was like, I cannot pass without supporting a fellow African. I don't know what material it's made of, but it's quite nice. It doesn't dry out my hair, and it's also reversible. I can decide to wear it like this. I prefer it like this. Because I have high porosity hair, it definitely means that my hair dries quite fast. I know there's some people who can actually go through the night and still wake up with twists that are not dry. I'm seated next to chickens and the little house that was made for them so that they cannot be snatched by the cats or the eagles. Did you know our cats started eating the little chicks? So now they have to be protected, and they keep on crying the entire day. It's so annoying. You know, when I see people talking about how I want to move to a farm and have cows and chickens, I always find it so interesting. Waiting for the wind to pass is definitely one of the things that makes my filming sessions so long, and it's so annoying. But of course, there's me, or someone like me who was growing up in a village, all kinds of animals. We had sheep, sometimes we had ducks, we had chickens, the cats, the dogs, and my goodness, I do not want to live this kind of life. Of course, I appreciate the greenery, I appreciate that, get things like fresh milk and fresh eggs, but the amount of work that goes into taking care of those animals is something that I don't hear a lot of people saying. It's a lot. I remember there was a time, I think I was about 8 years or 9 years old, where our chickens caught some kind of a virus and all the chickens died. We had about 60 chickens at that time, and no one really talks about those things, and I'm like, why is no one talking about the challenges of actually taking care of all those things? The students are back with their noises. I think they have like a games day, a sports day or something. This heat is absolutely annoying. The moment I'm done with this curls, I'm definitely putting in braids to just give my scalp a break from this heat. And voila, easy, perfect, defined, moisturized curls. This is like my favorite, my go-to, never fails me. That hair food that I used is absolutely fantastic because it leaves my hair shiny but not sticky. It's one of the reasons why I just like using it. And obviously because this is the first day of the curls, they're going to be more defined, but the volume is not going to be there. But as the days go by, the volume is going to grow and grow, but the curls are going to be less and less defined. But what I do in the meantime to bring back the volume is just to pick the roots just a little bit. This also helps to just close the gaps at the back. When you get used to parting your hair a certain way, after some time your hair just falls according to those lines. I'm definitely sure there's a difference between here and here. I cannot see myself, but I can feel it. And of course, if you want more volume, just go ahead and continue separating the curls until you get the volume that you want. But for now, this works. I really like when the wind blows my hair and it just moves. It's one of the things that I used to dream about thanks to watching Mexican telenovelas. You know, when you watch the heroine or the protagonist of the film on a horse and her hair is just moving up and down, I used to say, I want my hair to be like that. So now I've got to a point where my hair moves when it's blown by the wind, and that is absolutely fantastic. One of the other ways I like to wear my hair when I have the twist is this side part. My hair is too short. Today I've decided to enjoy my curls for a little bit. Normally I let it down only when I'm filming. But of course I had to hold the front section with a hair clip because I don't like it when my hair is all over my face. My workout time is quickly approaching and I'm just eating my pre-workout. I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to be eating fruits before working out, but this heat is just on another level and it just drains my energy. I completed reading this book, The Chrysalids by John Wyndham. It's a very right now book, although it was written, I think, was it in 1960? First published in 1955. And yet the issues that are being brought up in this book are very right now. The story here is about a group of people who are living in a community, or is it in a country, and they're so obsessed with ensuring that the children who are born do not have any kind of deviation. But of course they're using religion, Christianity, and so any child that is born with any kind of disability, physical disability, is not allowed to live. When a woman gives birth to a child, there has to be an inspector that comes to verify that the child has been born in the true image of God. I don't know why I'm doing this. And when the child passes the test, then they get a certificate. If the child doesn't pass the test, then well. One of the things that I noted while reading this book is that while these people who talk about being born in the true image keep on going about deviations and all that, they also say that God doesn't create imperfection. But God is the one that is creating these children that are being born, no? But what they are trying to say is that these children who are being born with disability have been created by the devil. But it really doesn't make sense, because you're trying to tell me that children being born with disability is proof that they've been created by the devil. How does that make any sense? And actually, isn't this the same kind of thinking that a few people use to define what is considered professional hair, what is considered unprofessional hair? And I always find it so interesting that even in Kenya, even in a lot of Kenyan workplaces, if you go to work with hair like mine, natural hair, you're told that your hair is unprofessional. And I know this because I have worked in a Kenyan corporate workplace. I was told that my hair is unkempt. And this kind of mental colonization is something that I absolutely find to be astonishing, because we are at a point where we know that this is not true. Through my own journey with my own hair, I've actually realized that you can't save people, but most importantly, you can't create societal change if people are not willing to change themselves. This idea that our hair is unprofessional, it's only going to stay alive as long as majority of people believe that. But when the majority start asking questions and being like, but wait a minute, why is my hair unprofessional? And yet that is the hair that I was born with, and start rejecting these oppressive norms on a daily basis, you know, from the individual level, then all these biases are just going to evaporate. But the reality is we're living in a world where a lot of people do not want to make change. They want someone else to make all these changes and they just want to benefit from it. They don't want to be the one to go to work with their natural hair and be told that they are unprofessional and have to challenge the HR policies in the workplace, because they don't want to be seen as unproblematic, because they want to keep their jobs. But at the same time, they're complaining about how oppressed they are. Like, can't have it both ways. You want change, you have to create change from your own life. You want activism, you have to start with being an activist in your own life. You need to start speaking up for yourself. But of course, the problem is a lot of people are waiting for a savior to come for them. And I know this very well, because as someone who is very outspoken, when it comes to places like the workplaces, a lot of people are so quick to complain about how things are not good, but when it comes to actually speaking out and asking for better, no one wants to speak. And because you are the outspoken one, everyone else is cheering you on to speak up, show the manager how it's done, and at the end of the day you're being told that, oh, you're inciting people, you're the troublemaker, basically because you're the only one that is picking up about all these issues that everyone is talking about in the bathrooms. This behavior has become so rampant, because even nowadays on social media, you find that people do not want to find solutions for their own things. When you put up a post and you put all the information there, there's someone still in the comment section being like, wait, where is the, what's the, People have become so unresourceful, or people are just waiting to be spoon-fed everything. There is no way you're just sitting down, even when provided with all kinds of information you would need, or even the plan of how to execute something, and you're still being like, but why are you not doing this for me? Like, you're waiting for someone to do something for you, but you're also blaming people for your own circumstances in life. Like, it's one thing to just choose to be lazy, but it's another to be lazy and blame the entire world for your own laziness, which you've chosen. Even the worst thing is these people who choose to be lazy, who don't want to make changes in their own lives, who never really want to speak up but want to benefit from the activism and the change that other people are putting their lives on the line to bring. These are the people that are always supporting the oppressive systems. They're the number one to be making excuses for the bad behaviors that are always being exhibited by the powerful people. They're the ones that vilify activists. It's really annoying.